Hello friends, Bill Baker here, host of the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show, right here on 105 FM, The Sun, every Wednesday morning. Hey, when I'm not on the radio, I'm working with folks just like you to help them buy and sell homes. I'm proud to say that my team has been helping people buy and sell homes in the Sun Prairie area for well over 10 years. Information about buying and selling a home is available on my website, bakerrealtygroup.com. On Facebook by searching Baker Realty Group or by calling 602-575-6731. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show with Bill Baker. Brought to you by the Baker Realty Group.
Woo.
Welcome to the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show with your host, Bill Baker.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to a beautiful hump day. I'm Bill Baker, I'm your host, and welcome to the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show right here at the beautiful stations, the Sun Prairie Media Center, and our affiliates being K-Sun, Kids 4, and 103.5. You're listening to 103.5 WLSP. We're underwritten by those wonderful folks at the Bank of Sun Prairie, the Baker Realty Group, and of course we have to sneak in Wintrust Mortgage. Now today I've got a surprise because we have a special guest and just a super guy that I met at the Chamber of Commerce, and he looked a little lonely, so I invited him on the show.
Thanks, buddy.
And Don Griffin's here. He's assistant vice president for the Bank of Sun Prairie and the mortgage lender, residential mortgage side of the business. And he likes our show. He likes our stats. So because Laura's taking the day off, I thought what a great opportunity to have him on and chit-chat a little bit and talk about what's going on in the world. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill. Glad to be here.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, are you a Sun Prairie resident?
I'm not.
What?
I know. But I've worked here many years.
Okay.
Between my prior life in banking in a different bank. Back in the day where Pick and Save was open, there was a bank there.
Pick and Save.
Yeah, remember that, Pick and Save?
What was in there?
It was the bank. First Federal Bank.
First Federal?
Way back when.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, it was back in 99.
Oofta.
Yeah. So then throughout the years I worked in banks on the east side primarily, but always liked to visit Sun Prairie, of course.
You're a young guy. I don't, you know how, that seems like a long time ago.
Almost 30 years. 1994 is when I started, believe it or not.
Oofta.
Yep.
I moved here in 1990.
1990.
1990.
Okay.
When there was a Twilight Lounge down by where American Family is.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And the Hepkers and everybody owned that land, and Ratman. He also owned that land, which was a lot of fun because Bernie was my next door neighbor.
Okay.
And we'd get a few brandy old fashions in him and talk about, well, how much did they pay for that? And he goes, I can't spend the interest. Okay, yeah, Bernie, have another one.
And how many homes are out that way now?
Well, that's all American Family.
I know, it's amazing.
And then, across the way, that would have been Hepker's side of it. Wow. You know, absolutely amazing. Hey, I want to talk, before we get in to chat with Mr. Don about some different things, I want to talk about the recent process that we've been going through with the budget here in Sun Prairie. And here's what I want to say to you folks that are out there, and it surprises me because I went through a lot of the meetings, and I didn't see you there. You weren't there, and I don't know where you were. I don't know if they didn't give good directions, or did they need to offer food and beer or something. I don't know what it is, but I kept looking for more of our citizen input at some of these meetings, and you weren't there. People just weren't there.
Why didn't they have beer there?
Well, why didn't they have beer there? Well, I'll ask Mayor Esther on that one. That would be a good one. If I was elected, I would say beer and food for everybody.
You get everybody there.
We'll have little sandwiches. Get a sponsor on it. Yeah, maybe Pelletary.
Ooh, look at that. Looking for sponsors. I love it.
Well, you gotta do that, right?
Gotta do that? Yep, that's perfect.
And the reason I bring this up is because I want you to know that your input really matters. When you've got a group of alders and a mayor and the city administrator that are as open as they are to our community, to our town, and what goes on, they rely on your input. They listen to you. Now you may not have, I don't know, subject that they don't agree with, but they're going to listen to you. They're going to take that in. They're going to absorb it and then see what's the best situation for all of the residents in their areas. Now you got people like Steve Stalker. Stalker is a big advocate for what you say. He gets out there and he digs and pulls in the information. And also McElroy and Crombie, everybody, all of them listen to what you're saying. And so you have a voice. And I want you to walk away from this budget process that we just finished, which really hurt some of us, and understand that your input really matters. It has an effect. You can force change with polite, professional, and courteous dialogue and debate. The nasties, you get nothing. Except a big stick across the... No, I didn't say that out loud, did I? But
Can't say that on the radio,
no. But communications is so important. Every time you turn around somebody, well, I'm going to communicate. Communicate this, communicate that. Politicians love this. Yes, my goal is to increase communications and blah, 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 right? Well, I'm going to say that I'm a little disappointed in the budget item that just went through for the media center. The media center is being given $50,000. Now, that sounds like a lot of money. $1,000. Now you got to remember, this is a city entity. The media center is a city entity. It is not in the general budget. It's not even in the budget until this year. It's not there. The reason being is because all the cable fees, the percentage of that feeds the media center. And it was designed that way by the state. State of Wisconsin wanted each of the municipalities to have community type of communication. So you could watch or listen to a city meeting and be involved in the process. So you would know what was going on during those meetings. And I'm going to tell you, the first time ever, did I say ever? Hello, ever chance? Ever. The media center had to go to the city council and say, hey, we need help. We're hurting a little bit here. Those cable dollars aren't going up as much as they have in the past. But the city also needed to be reminded that, hey, you just went through a salary thing that gave everybody raises. And because of that, it caused a spike that took a trend line and knocked it off kilter and then put the media center into a deficit situation, which isn't a good thing, folks. And if you're in business, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But here, let me put it into peopleese. That's my word for today. It means like you go to write a check and you can't because your bank account has nothing in it. Yes. And in Don's world, that's called overdraft.
And there's a fee to that.
And there's a fee to it. They're going to charge you for money they know you don't have.
So do municipalities get an overdraft fee?
They don't get
No? Jeez.
But now here's what the thing is. Now, we recently had a strategic plan. It's a strategic meeting. I wouldn't call it a strategic plan. It's nothing like I've ever seen before. We had a plan that said, okay, the media center needs to hire somebody to just do the sponsorships, fundraising, and all that stuff. And it's sizable. And so you got to hire somebody. You got benefits, things like that. That was the plan. That was what was presented to the city administrator. The assistant city administrator agreed with it. Thought it was a great idea. It would help offset any cost, right? Because you got to remember, it's not costing the city anything until this year. They didn't cost nothing. Never gone to the city for money because we take those cable dollars and it fuels this. So now in the budget process, what happens is the mayor and the administrator, they work on their budgets. And then Aaron Oppenheimer, each of the department heads submits their budgets. They put it into a general budget. And then each of the department heads comes in and they present their case. They present their budget. Then from there, the city administrator, they will look at it. That's Aaron Oppenheimer. He takes that and he'll say, no, I don't think $10 is enough, or that's too much, or whatever. They make the adjustments. In this case, Aaron made the adjustment. We went from like 125,000 for the position, benefits and everything, vehicle cost, all that stuff, And so he cut it down to 90,000. 90,000. Now this is something that a person could probably raise a couple of $100,000 a year.
Sure.
So it could be a self-funded position. Well, it got to the mayor's desk. The mayor took it and said, not 90, we'll take it to 50, because he feels that the value of everything the media center does with the broadcasting the meetings, everything from planning to housing committee that I'm on, to council of the whole, or to the general council. Every meeting you want, we've got it covered. He felt that value was $50,000. I don't agree. I think that this, and as I testified in the meeting when we were going over the budget debate, budget presentation, the public section of this where we can share our thoughts, this is the most important communication device we have in Sun Prairie. This is the most important communication device that we have in Sun Prairie. It doesn't cost the city anything to have this entity on their books. It's here. It's self-sufficient, or it was, until they threw a curve and it increased every pay, all your salaries in the city of Sun Prairie. Threw a curve into the whole equation. I'd love to have that,
Yeah.
Yeah, I bank at Bank of Sun Prairie. Can you just throw me $100 or something?
We try, all the time.
Every day.
Yeah,
Just give it to me.
Just try. Yeah.
But this is the most valuable communication tool. The newspaper isn't. The Star is not. I don't know if you've read the Star lately, but it's shrinking. It ain't news. It's after the fact. So being the most valuable communication tool, and every alder has sat in this booth talking to me, talking to others about communications. We needed more money. We needed to step in to help lift this up for a little while so they could get that person hired, so we could raise some geeters. Got to get the cash.
What happened with the cable fees? They go down?
No, they're kind of flat right now, but they're going because more people are streaming.
They're streaming. That's what I figured. Yeah.
And we don't get paid on the internet. We just get paid if they're watching cable.
Right.
And so it's going to change some operations here, I'm sure. Jeff Rahm's going to have a lot of decisions to make. But the key is that we have to keep the quality of the productions. This show, Jameson Rabbit, Dan Presser, Christine Bright, Danelle Gay. I mean, we have to keep the value of this and the production quality as high as we can, and rely on the 4 employees that we have. So the point I'm trying to make here is, you need, in our city government, you got to have a voice, and you got to surround yourself with people that listen to you. If you live in District 4, you've got representation. District 3, District 2. And if you don't know who those people are, call me. I'll let you know who they are. The other thing, I was at a meeting last night and for the Lions Club. And we're putting together this program, and it's going to involve Cottage Grove. They got that park over there where they do the baseball.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
Or I can't remember what they call it. Not Dream Park, but shoot. Oh man, we're going to have a car care rally is what it is. And then we're going to play baseball with some kids, and we help them play baseball.
Great.
And some kids are in wheelchairs, some using walkers. We're going to do all that. And I said to one of the guys there, I said, well, what's Melissa Radcliffe think of all this? Have you talked to her about it? Who's that? I'm like, well, first of all, she lives in your community. She's your state representative, used to be a council representative. Oh my gosh. So politics, this my last point, and I'll get off this and we'll talk real estate. Because I got some stuff to chat about a little bit. And we want to talk about first-time home buyers on this. Especially talk about the home first one. Politics isn't as bad as what the media is leading on with. There's a lot of negative politics that are out there.
Mhm.
But what you need to know is you've got to weed through it. And I'm going to tell you, in the city of Sun Prairie, ours is pretty damn good. We got good people there.
A lot of active people.
Yeah.
See them everywhere.
We've got, we are losing one this year coming up. And Brent Iceburner, he's decided that he won't run for re-election.
Okay.
There's a few great prospects, and so that'll be coming up in December. December is the time when you turn in your paperwork, and then it comes to fruition January 3rd on who will be on the ballot. Could be a primary, may not be a primary, but but we've got all these alders that actually listen. They're active in our community. Our politics in Sun Prairie are fantastic. Don't worry about Dane County. Don't worry about City of Madison. They're a joke. It's Sun Prairie that we care about. You've heard me. I pick on Madison all the time. I don't need their
They're
politics.
easy to pick on.
Yeah, I don't need their politics. Come on, just leave me alone. You have a voice. You have a voice, and you have people here that care about you and will do whatever they can to help you. So just know that, all right? So Bill will get off his soapbox and and let's talk to our guest who's here. And he's sitting there going, "What in the hell is he doing? I thought we were going to talk about real estate. Now we're talking about politics." But no.
At least you didn't ask my opinion, which is great.
Yeah,
That's important.
You can share that if you want. You opened the door.
I did, actually. You know, I've been very impressed, obviously, working with Bank of Sun Prairie, with having the alders at all the chambers meetings.
Yeah.
You know, having people come in from Economic Council, and obviously coming down and being at, downtown at the municipal building and having people talk, nonstop. They'll come in and ask any question you have.
Sure.
They've been fantastic.
Speaking of the chamber, we did a pretty good job. I think, of course, Bank of Sun Prairie is a chamber member. And Don is at, I would say, every meeting that I've known.
I try.
Try. Every Friday we're at Coffee Clutch.
Yep. It's fun.
Coffee
chat.
And we'll have 40 people there.
Yeah, it's been great. Actually,
40 businesses.
Yeah, 40 businesses and connecting each other. Getting everybody to connect together and introducing each other and actually trading business. We had a fantastic one last week at Telmore.
Right.
Which is wonderful. What a beautiful building.
Absolutely.
And people were talking to each other about promoting each other.
Sure.
And that's what the community is about. That's community.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic.
Well, I don't know if you were at Live when we were over there.
No, I was actually out of town. I did miss one.
So what I pointed out, so what we do is it is a networking event. You're in there, you're talking, you're learning about things, and then we do an introduction, a group introduction. It takes about 15 minutes to do that. That's how big this group is. And you learn a little something about somebody. And we all happen to be right down the road. That's the way most people
Everybody's so close.
Everybody's
Yeah.
right down the road. What I said in that group is, and being an ambassador to the chamber, what I said was, I'm really proud that I have at least 10 people that I've done business with, or I've referred to somebody that's done business with them in the city.
Absolutely.
It's that powerful. It is that powerful.
We were just actually talking about that. I was meeting with some folks at the Bank of Sun Prairie, and we're talking about, because we're obviously the annual sponsor for that, and one of the major sponsors for.
Is there anything that you're not the sponsor for?
That's a good point.
I wake up in the morning and I roll over before I get in the shower, look in the mirror to make sure I'm not tattooed on my backside like Bank of Sun Prairie.
I love it. That's fantastic. That's what we're supposed to do. But we want to get back, and that's what being a community bank is all about.
Sure.
We've been here on 25 years. We have 100 employees that actively get out in the community.
That's true.
And we log so many hours volunteer not because we want to have to. It's never been ingrained. It's everybody is volunteer. Like when volunteer positions come up to go do something,
Yeah.
it's filled like within an hour.
Whoa. You just said something interesting. They don't ask you to go do this? This is just on your own?
Well, they will provide
You know
the
what I mean?
opportunity, but
Oh,
it's
sure.
not in anybody's review. It's not. It is taken. Like these spots with Sunshine Place, all over the community. It's taken immediately.
Wow.
We just took a photo at Sunshine Place this week, and I think we had like 35 people there that are actively volunteering for the Thanksgiving giveaway.
Okay.
When we're handing out turkeys and baskets and everything.
Right.
And we'll be there. I think somebody's there every day until Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, from completely from the bank.
That is amazing.
Yep.
That and it's good to have leadership like that. Jimmy is out in front all the time.
Absolutely.
That man is front and center. He's not the CEO that's hiding behind a desk.
No.
I don't think he could hide behind a desk, but
Well, the thing is, he is out there in the community,
Yeah.
and that's what I love about him. But he doesn't have to showcase.
No.
And that's a huge difference
Right.
being in the financial world for 30 years, and just in any business, is having a CEO that is actively involved, but he would rather have his employees there and him on the sidelines.
Sure.
You know, being a guide from the side, and he's a fantastic, person to look up to, and you just kind of watch what he does is pretty amazing because he cares so much.
Yeah.
And that's the littlest thing for an employee to the largest thing. I mean, you ask him a question, he'd answer and come in and talk to you. I mean, he's very open. So we're blessed. I mean, I think this community says a lot about the community too, though, because we're a community that kind of supports each other, and that's we were talking about the chamber, and been here what now 7 months because I did transfer from a different entity. And what was just eye-opening is it reminded me back of when I started as a small community bank where you are working with each other throughout the community. And you almost go mow each other's lawn. I mean, it's that type of community, which is really fun being one of the largest and fastest growing communities in the state. It's nice that we still have that small town feel.
I think we just lost our feed. Let me just check again on this. Oh, maybe
Sure.
we didn't. No, we're good.
I broke it already.
Oh, it says it was live. No. No. Oh no! Give me a second. No. Do this. Oh, you're drinking some, so that should be alright.
Does that work? It always works.
I'll just figure it out. But let me just check here. We're taking a 5-minute break. No, we're not. Oh no, we're still on.
Perfect.
I just don't know why it's not.
Bill's breaking things already.
Well, I like breaking things. I'm good at it. That's what I know. Let me tell you. Where was I going to go with this? Well, the things that you guys do, I will tell you that I know that one of the things is construction loans are really fantastic with
Yes.
you folks, and the way you structure them, and that is, which is a little different than other people.
Correct.
And we can talk about that in a minute. But what you've got going on right now is a huge event, and it's a first-time homebuyer seminar, and it's going to be held December 13th, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Sun Prairie Public Library in the community room.
Correct.
And here's the thing I want to do. I mean, the URL to go sign up for this is so long. I think that we should have them reach out to you,
Yep,
or
absolutely.
to Michelle Hahn, or to any of your banking staff, and to really sign up for this. I'm telling you, the URL is like sunprairie.librarymarket.com/event/first dash time dash home dash buyer dash seminar dash.
We kind of did that actually. I don't want to say on purpose, but contacting us is great because if you decide to want to go, the library has been gracious to host us. They're fantastic. Obviously, the beautiful building, the community room. You can go right to their website to do that.
Sure.
Very easy. As you said, you can contact any one of the lenders to sign up. We can help you with that.
Yeah.
But ideally, the library, we want to be part of the community and be part of the library, and having the partnership with them is just fantastic.
And that's why the renovation is going to be so valuable.
Yes. Yes.
So let's talk about it. First time home buyers. First of all, I'm going to say, what are you, nuts?
No. The answer is no.
Well,
Absolutely not.
Well, how can a first time? We need to define what a first time home buyer is.
Well,
Yeah.
technically a first time home, or you could be the first time. I mean, obviously the first time you ever buy, or the categorization of it is not owning a home for 3 years. So that is technically a first time home buyer also. One things that we've learned is that actually the age of the first time home buyer has continued to increase. I mean, you were looking at back in our day, it was probably 26, 28. Right now, it's nearing 34 to 35. So more and more of the education is there, and continuing people want to hear and learn more before buying and jumping right in. So we kind of all partnered together as the loan officers and got together, kind of pull all of our vast experience to provide some education for people. We're blessed to have somebody like Michelle who's going to be leading this.
Well, she is.
She will be the first presenter. We're all going to obviously take our turns so that we can, each of us get our face up there. But you can't have anybody better than Michelle, who's been in the Sun Prairie community for 42, or actually been in Bank of Sun Prairie for 42 or 43 years. I mean, that's just amazing.
I didn't notice my name on the agenda.
Your name's not on the agenda, Bill.
What?
Well, there, down the road, there could be a Bill Baker sighting at some point, which, as we start this off, having Michelle and having that experience and that staple here in Sun Prairie as our lender is amazing. I mean, we have 5 great lenders in the area who have a array of experience. I don't think any one of them has less than probably 15 years of lending experience, if not obviously far more. So you're going to get some excellent education, not only just to prepare yourself, and we're all about, it's not about now. Even though, yes, you can buy now, we can talk about it's a great time to buy now. It's actually, I think, in my opinion, probably a better time to buy now than later, but we can go into that in a different time. But preparing yourself, because sometimes it could take 6 months to a year to get yourself ready.
6 months to a year?
It could be.
Well,
savings.
let's talk about that. I mean, that's a long time. That's eternity.
Could be.
That'd cost you a ton of money if you did that.
It definitely would cost.
Oh
you
my
a ton of
gosh.
money. That's why I say you definitely, in my opinion, you should buy now. But if somebody's not ready and they're first starting to, this is a great spot to start to know what you need. I mean, obviously you want to make sure your credit's aligned. You want to make sure you have some savings for some down payment and some closing costs. You're going to want to make sure that your payment, and I think that's the most important part, is what you want. So what we do is in this seminar, we're going to provide some education, some data there, some guidance, some things to think about. We'll have all of our lenders there, so if you have questions, you can ask that afterwards. You can always set up appointments with the lenders afterwards to kind of go through your specific situation.
Sure.
But this is a great starting point, and that's what we want to do, is give somebody a starting point. And there might be some people that think like you and I do, that like it definitely would be sooner than later, will be better for you. But for some, they're just not ready yet.
Okay, all right.
So if that helps.
So it's going to prepare you for home ownership. You're going to have a home buying process. You guys are going to take them through a home buying process?
Yep. So what we like to do is kind of walk through kind of what the steps are.
Sure.
Not only, getting ready, pre-approval, those type of things, pre-qualification, we'll define those, but we'll also go through who your partners are. You're going to have partners that obviously are very educated to help you, i.e. Bill Baker, or realtors in that aspect. Because
there are no other realtors.
I don't think there's any in Sun Prairie anymore.
No, there's no.
They all left?
No,
Okay.
they left.
They left? Okay.
They left. They went to Madison.
Oh, they did,
Or
Madison.
They're in Dane County, just not Sun Prairie. Ah!
I love it. You'll have an inspector that may, be in there. What does an appraiser do? Those type of things. You're going to contact some great insurance agents, which we have wonderful ones in town. So you'll kind of walk through, and we'll walk through kind of who's all involved there. Then we'll talk about the specifics on how to get pre-approved. Some of the things I talked about. We'll go over income, assets, credit, and just making sure you're ready and pre-approved to go. Then we'll go through some different loan options. There's obviously a variety of first-time homebuyer options. There's different options for those who are more seasoned.
Sure.
You don't have to be a first-time homebuyer to come to this seminar. Let's say you haven't bought in a while. You just want to refresh yourself with it.
Come on back.
Come back.
Free food and beer.
We'll have free food. It's deciding if we're gonna have beer or not. The whole budget thing might be changing my thought process on that. Maybe we will get more people in if we.
I'm telling you, bring the beer.
Bring the beer. Well, that's clever. I mean, we'll see what they can bring. Then what does it take for closing? Obviously, you want to have a.
What is a closing? First of all, what's that mean, and why do I care?
Who does it? Where do you do it? What's this title company that gets involved? Those type of things. But that's why having a good lender that's been, doing this for a long time, experience, is going to walk you through and trust. And, look at the reviews. Get recommendations. Those are so important. But come in and see if you like the person, if you trust the person.
Sure.
And if you know the person. Know, like, and trust is huge.
Sure. Now, there are different kinds of loan processes out there, folks. And you've heard it on this show many times. You need to work with somebody that has a lot of different options, and Bank of Sun Prairie offers that.
Correct.
They're going to listen to you, and we talked about communications at the beginning of the show, and that feeds into this. You need to tell them what you're trying to do, and then let Don or one of the lenders help find the best program and best fit for you. It doesn't mean that you have to have 20% down. That's the biggest myth that's out there.
Correct.
That you have to have a 20% down payment. It ain't true.
Not at all.
It's not true. Some of them are 0 down.
Yep.
Some of them are 3%. Some of them are 5%. Some of them are
Correct.
5%.
10. Yeah. Well, you can go 10. I mean, it depends if you buy duplexes or 4 units.
Sure.
You can buy a primary residence that's a 4 unit. You'll just have to have a little bit more down.
Sure.
But we'll walk through all those specific situations for you.
So he just went over something really fast. He talks really quick.
Sorry,
I got
I'll
to
slow
slow
down
down.
for you.
You talked about duplex or fourplex
Correct.
and owning one of those. So in this seminar, you're going to go over home ownership in a multifamily environment?
We're not going to go that deep, though. That's
Okay.
a great question. We won't go that deep, but that's where your specific situation and what your goals and dreams are, where you'll sit down and talk to a lender.
Sure.
So, if it is your single-family residence, you can buy a primary duplex, like
Right.
you said, a primary fourplex. Those are things we'll dive in deeper individually, but we want to get you ready and started for what that looks like to just get in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Start the game.
Absolutely.
And then the rest will go from there. But no, great point, and what a great investment opportunity. Throughout the years, if you're able to do that and you've been saving for a while,
Sure.
what a great opportunity to have cash flow to help pay that payment.
Oh yeah, or have it set up where you'll be surprised. Honest to goodness, and working with a realtor will help you with this because they can analyze the numbers on it. But here's the thing you need to know is sometimes you could buy a duplex and the other side pays your mortgage.
Correct.
And it's just that simple. Also, when you're buying a multifamily like a duplex or fourplex, the income that's being produced on the other side is actually calculated into your program that you're
Correct.
using.
It's a factor of what's called your debt to income. So there's certain levels of debt to income where typically most lenders will stay under 45%. So you take your gross income divided by 12 times 45, that gets us there. But let's say we're a little short. Well, if you by chance buy a duplex, we can use part of that rent to count towards that debt to income to help you qualify. So there's some really advantageous options for you. Again, sitting down with a lender like Michelle, myself, we have Monica at our Broadway office, we have Amy at our Cottage Grove office, we have Andrea who rotates between all of them. So we have plenty of options and people for you to really work with you to get that done.
Andrea Bellinger's a good one.
She's a good one. Yeah, they're fantastic.
She's married to an incredible home inspector.
Yes.
It's got the personality that everybody wants to use.
Yes, absolutely.
Because he'll come in his Hawaiian shirt, but he is what I love about Jim, and he's one of our specialists that's on the show, and part of my team, my Baker Realty Group team, is that he's a builder, realtor, home inspector, and developer. So he's seen it all. And he'll be the first one to tell you, you're buying a new home, get a home inspector, because and I've been putting some of these on my Facebook page because the inspector comes out and goes, what? Houses, wait a minute, what are you talking about? The deck's not attached to the house.
You'd be amazed. You've built throughout the years and seen all the appraisals and everything that comes through. Without that home inspection to take care of you, to really help. I mean, it's 2 to 3 hours. You're going to have anywhere between 7 and 20 pages of items on there. Not all bad.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there could be stuff that it's just always good to know, which is really nice. And what I like about Jim too, thank you for bringing up Jim's name. He's a parent. So when you get first-time home buyers and having somebody who is a parent, he's going to care about you.
Sure.
And there's great inspectors out there who really, they're kind of father figure or mother figure that actually want to make sure that you're buying it, but they have all the knowledge of being the builder, be a developer. Having all that background is huge because you could walk into tens of thousands of repairs that are needed.
The thing is, what's interesting about, I love this about Jim. Now, he's not allowed by their ethics or their standards to look at you and go, you should not buy this house.
Correct.
But the relationship he has with his fellow realtors in that situation, he has a way of saying it in a way that I appreciate so much. And I'll do it. I mean, I'll be the first one. You shouldn't be buying this house. But so that's cool. Are you guys going to have a home inspector there?
We're not going to at this time. So what we're doing is we really want to focus on the lending process this time. Yeah, but that's something that we're going to start introducing is whether it be the home inspector, the insurance agent, obviously the realtor, things like that.
Right.
To really get that rolling. But we want to, again, have people sit down because right now, as I'm sure everybody knows, I mean, the market is pretty slow. And people are getting ready. Well, we'll get into some numbers here. I know, right?
Run out of time, but we'll get to it.
We could talk all day.
I know,
actually
right?
could do this all day with you. But no, come on down. I should have a call to action there. But take a look at it. Take a look at the library's website. Take a look at our website. It's under financial education. See if it's right for you. If it's something that's right for you, feel free to give us a call if you have any questions.
Yeah, we can do that. If you want to talk to Don, 608-467-1802. That's his office line, 608-467-1802. Or you can email him at don.griffin@bankofsunprairie.com. That's don.griffin@bankofsunprairie.com.
Perfect.
And I love it, man. Hey, so we've talked a lot about different things, and over the time we get to spend together, and which I enjoy, by the way. I always look forward to seeing you. And Lawrence Hune is one of the guys that I really respect. He's an economist. He's the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. I'll let you know right away. In the realtor world, NAR, as it's called, National Association of Realtors, has a little bit of a black eye because of some things that they're doing. And not doing, or doing very well. But Lawrence Hune is a class act. Lives down in Chicago. Don't hold that against him, because I think he's a Packer fan. I'm going to get him on the show.
Should.
I will. I'll get him. But he put out something recently. Talks about mortgage rates. I want to read this to you real quick, and then I'll get Don's comments on it. He says, mortgage rates are plunging with the news of inflation calming. Consumer prices rose by 3.2% in September, even with the rent component still showing a hefty gain of 6.7%. Oh my gosh.
That's quite high.
Non-official private sector rent data has shown a 0% to 2% rise, which, hypothetically, used in the official figures, would bring inflation down below the Federal Reserve desired inflation target of 2%. The interest rate rises should be over, and the Fed will have to consider cutting interest rates seriously, honestly. In the meantime, the bond market is reacting as if the Fed will be cutting rates next year. Mortgage rates look to head towards 7 in the next few months, into a 6% range by the spring of 2024.
Yep. All the data's there.
Wow.
All the data. Not only do I agree with you, Lawrence. I mean, obviously, listening to him and actually reading his comments on everything, he's been in the game for a long time, and he's very educational. I definitely enjoy him, along with the MBS Highway with Barry Abib.
Oh yeah, Barry Abib.
And looking
love
at,
those two guys.
They're fantastic, and he just came out actually yesterday and today. The Fed forecast for next year, the Fed, how do you want to say, forecast? So I have to use that lightly. Was to have 3 decreases next year. That has now changed to possibly have 4 Fed rate decreases next year. That would be amazing. It's turning the car around, as they said this morning, to actually going the other way, which would be unreal. We were this close yesterday because of the consumer price index numbers.
Yeah.
To the market reaching 7%. We were that close yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, some did.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's the market, being pretty general there. But today it went up a little bit, just because there's always a little rebound effect. But we're that close. So I mean, as this continues to move down, and we start getting inflation numbers on the core continues to come down, the PPI, which is the production inflation, that came down again today. But as we see that job numbers come down, we could really see this sub 7 before the end of the year, and which would be unreal.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how close we are.
Wow.
So I know everybody still thinks we're 8, and the nation, they think 7.6 is average, which in a lot of places it is.
Yeah.
But in our market, in some prairie market, we're just above 7.
Yeah.
Quietly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the thing is that what I would, if I were a lender, if I were a mortgage banker like you, I would be on the phone with my people that are on the fence right now going, are you ready?
Yep.
Get set. I'll call you when we need to do this. We are close to going under 7, and if we go under 7, those buyers better get off the fence and buy something, because things are still just going crazy.
Yep.
People say it's slowing down. Let's take a look at it.
Let's look at the data.
Let's just take a peek. I want to talk, first of all, we're going to talk about this one first. And it's about 20, we got 20 minutes left.
Sure.
So right now, what's happening in Sun Prairie, 13 new homes have come onto the market since the 1st of November. That was 20 last year, so I'm sure we're going to get over that number, over 20. 15 homes have sold. We sold 27 last month. I think we'll hit another probably 30 this month. here's what you need to know is over last year's sold prices, the number is up 9.6%.
Amazing.
And then if I go to my year-to-date numbers, I'm still at that 10.45. 10%, folks. What's that mean? What's that mean? What's that mean? If I was at $400,000 on my house purchase, my value just went up $40,000.
Your house value and your appreciation, that's
Yeah.
your investment.
And I'm just talking about the price increase.
That's amazing. Amazing.
Just the appreciation, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and that's why we talked about when we were saying earlier, Bill and I both agree, buy now.
Right.
Because what's going to happen next year as these come down, right now there's a certain number of buyers out there, right? Let's say it's X.
Right.
Well, next spring when rates are lower, it's going to be X, probably times 2, if
Sure.
not 3 or 4 or 5. And you're going to have so much more competition.
Right.
You still may not have, the inventory will grow, but not as fast as the competition. So, if you come out next spring, just expect you're going to have a lot more people fighting for that house.
Right.
So sooner the better, because then you can also take the appreciation gains next year. For the MBS Highway, which I presented about in the Sun Prairie Chamber there, we're looking at about a 7.63% increase for MBS Highway next year in Sun Prairie. And that, to me, I think is conservative.
What highway?
It's called the MBS Highway with Mary Abid. And I have to obviously disclose who I get this data from.
Right.
But yeah, you're getting, almost another 8% next year, if not higher, if there's a lot more competition because everybody's fighting for it, supply demand.
Yeah.
So if you're getting ready, like Bill said, get ready and start looking. Find that house you want, marry that house, and you're going to be dating the rate because hopefully, if things continue, especially with election coming late next year, you will possibly have that opportunity to refinance. So a win-win in my opinion.
People ask me all the time, or leave them in comments about it. Well, nobody sells their house in the winter. And I said, oh my gosh, it is the best time to sell a house, and also it's even a better time to buy a house. Let me give you an example. So right now, so I ran the numbers. So when I did them this morning, there were 13 sold. 15 have now sold. And here's what you need to know. Only 3 of the 15 had competing offers.
Wow.
Okay, now,
Wow.
I gotta go way, because I want to say,
So there's not much competition is what you're saying, for the layman terms.
right. Okay, wait, I gotta go over here and look at this. So, of this though, I gotta pull my darn stats. Okay, of the 13 that I saw today,
Yep.
6 of them were new construction that were sold. So
Okay.
they don't have competing offers. Though.
Right.
But at the same time, I got so much data sometimes, I have no idea what I'm doing. But just showing.
Well, it's a good thing you're young and you can
Thanks,
process
man.
all this. Yeah.
But of the existing homes, which would have been, what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Of the 9, 3 of them had competing offers.
So 6 did.
Right.
Yeah, so 66% basically.
Right, exactly.
Did not.
That number's down compared to what it'll be in the springtime.
Correct.
It'll probably be 70 and
It'll be
80%.
flip-flopped.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh, if not more, yeah.
Absolutely.
Of those non-new construction,
Right.
who have competed offers,
Right.
you're probably looking, I would guess, in the 70-80%
Right.
plus. Yep.
Right.
Where now it's 33% have competing offers per what you listed.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, it gets me all the time. Now you're very shrewd on the numbers. You and I like that a lot. We share the numbers. Is how many realtors know that? What you just said and what I pointed out.
The good and experienced ones that
Right.
understand that. So
Right.
the newer ones that come in the market, and good for them to try something new.
Sure.
But in this market, you need to have somebody experienced.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
If you're agent and you don't assume this. Here's what you want to do. Say, what's your process for submitting an offer? And then be quiet and listen to them. The first thing I'm going to tell you I call the agent. And I'll say to them, hey, I'm calling about 123 Main Street. Thanks very much. Hey, we had a great showing. We really enjoyed it. We're really interested in writing an offer on it. Got some questions for you. Sure. Do you have any offers? Now, the law says they have to tell me yes or no. They can't lie about it. No, you can't. This isn't a bluffing game. And so they'll say, no. Okay. I said, are you expecting offers within the next day or two? We have nothing pending. That's a great way of saying it. Or no. We have interested parties, but I have not received an offer, is what I usually say. And so those little words by themselves would change what I'm submitting for this. Then the next thing is, what is, other than highest and best price, what is your seller looking for? What can we do to help them? Well, nothing. They just want highest and best. I know. Do they want to move out fast? Do they want to have a longer time to move out? Is there some items that they need to leave behind? What's going on with this? And just find out what the hell's going on. Because the MLS doesn't tell you anything. But Danny, I'm going to tell you, man, how many offers I've received as the listing agent just out of the blue.
And they don't call you.
They don't call.
Ask a question.
No, I even had one call me and she bitched at me. Why? Because I didn't see her offer.
Okay.
I emailed it to you. Like, well, I haven't checked my email. And she's like, what? What do you mean you haven't checked your email? And I said, well, normally a realtor will call the other agent and let them know an offer is coming over.
Yep.
That's the courtesy. It happens all the time.
Yep.
And if it happened once, it happened 10 times.
Well, it's what's nice there. You're talking about relationship and working with the experienced realtor, working with the experienced lender, and that partnership helps because what we'll do is we'll not only help to be in contact with you and to let you know what the scenario looks like, so that you can educationally make that call. On the addition side is we would say I can call the seller realtor and say I can't give them specifics, of course, full disclosure. I cannot give any confidential information. But basically say we're ready to move. Yeah. It sounds like you want to move in 20 days. I can close in 20 days. To help that cause. So those are things by having an experienced team and experienced realtor to get that pointed forward. You have to have, especially in this market.
And I'm going to tell you, when I have the seller, one of my questions is, are you paying cash or financing? A lot of times I'll know that once I receive the offer. But if I'm having a conversation with them, they'll say, oh no, we're getting a loan. Who's the loan with? Rocket Mortgage. I've a lot of times said, well, we may want to look at a secondary source on that. They go, well, what do you mean? I said, Rocket's not reliable. It's not giving you a good position on your offer. I said, would you consider, but if I have somebody that says to me, oh, well, it's Bank of Sun Prairie, I'm working with Griffin, that just sends up, great signs, and I know that I have somebody local, I have somebody that's knowledgeable, I have somebody that I can actually pick up the phone and call. Better yet, I can drive to his office on Grand Avenue and say, what's going on with this loan?
And
how good's
it? That huge.
That's huge. That's so important. It's priceless, man. It's freaking priceless.
And there's many institutions that may not work weekends. This phone, this is reaching.
Don't tell them that. You don't work weekends, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I have to. I've been in this business 30 years.
30 years.
30 years in
You're
finance.
nuts.
No, I have. I started when I was 4. I'm the doogie of finance. No. But no, you need a pre-approval. You need to get that change. You have a question. I mean, you got to have that partnership in this type of business. Now, does that happen that often? No. I mean, I shouldn't say that because my wife would kill me. But no, it does happen.
Yeah.
But you're going to have those questions, and you got to have somebody reliable that you can get a hold of. And being local is huge. And you hit a great point because in this market with all the different, especially you're going to have so much competition coming out.
Sure.
You have to have it.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to be ready.
Yes.
I mean, so I love the first-time home buyer program, and we preach this here. Get to the lender and get it going. Give them all the information. Be ready to pull that string. Find the house. Get the appraisal. Boom. Sometimes you don't even need an appraisal.
No.
Did you hear that?
Yep. Sometimes
that
you
was
don't
a
need appraisal.
no.
Yep. Sometimes you do not.
He talks too damn fast. No. That's a no.
I wake up too early. I had too much caffeine.
Oh man, I'll get you off that caffeine.
Yeah, I need to. Actually, you gotta have a little pre-workout though. But no, you hit it on the head, Bill, and you're making it short here is that being ready. Talk to your lender, get in, talk to your lender, whoever that may be, and get pre-approved. Get ready because realtors like Bill, they want to move, and if you're not pre-approved, it's very hard for him to do his job. And I think as you learn more and sit down with more people, and get them ready, that moves them faster. And this home buyer seminar is a great way to kind of just spark that, get that interest going,
Sure.
get the knowledge, and you're going to hear some great people with Michelle there. We'll be there too, the other lenders, to get that moving. So, but you got to be prepared right now, because it's, like you said, I think this spring is going to be crazy.
I had a house recently, we've talked about it on the show before, and this was with all the cats and dogs and everything. And there was a really talented agent on the other side. They wanted to submit an offer, and Tony, I can't remember Tony's last name. I can't pronounce it. Antonowitz or something like that.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yep.
Love the guy. I've worked with
Yep.
a realty executive
Yep.
before. And so he asked the right questions. And we shared that it's going to be a problem getting this house up to broom swept. They came back with a cash offer. They said, leave everything you don't want.
Wow.
And yes, we can close in 7 days, and you can stay there for a month.
And that's communication.
That's communication.
Yeah.
Here's what you need to know. That offer was accepted, which at $400,000, which is public information,
Yeah.
over an offer that was $550,000, with inspections and well inspections, septic inspection, home inspection, cash deal.
Wow. So knowing what makes it tick is so
Exactly.
key, and knowing that a realtor can do that
Exactly.
is key.
Exactly.
That's great.
Oh, and the other part was sight unseen. They hadn't seen it.
Oh, love it. Wow.
And so, so I'm talking to the seller and saying, they said, well, this one's 150,000 more. I said, it's 150,000 of nothing. It's not a good offer. Nothing's done here. They haven't even seen the house. And part of the contingency is for them to see and approve the house. And they walk in that house, they're not going to want it. And I said, you need to take this one.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, but it's 150. I'm like, yes, ma'am. I said, I know exactly what you're saying, but right now, this is the offer. The bird in the hand it's hot. They have cash and will close in 7 days. Well, I won't be out by then. I know. I said, but because she was moving to an independent living facility, I said, they're going to give you half of the money the day we close, and then the other half the day you move out. So they're going to give you the money that you'll need to go move
Awesome.
and get everything ready, and it's all set up. And then she's like, oh, okay.
That's phenomenal.
But that's communications. And again, we started off the show talking about communications, and it's so important. Hey, in front of you, you have a list of new active listings, and what's interesting about the active listings, I want to say I forgot what they said, 40. Well, it says 66. If you go to the MLS, it'll tell you there's 66 homes on the market. Well, that ain't right. I'm just telling you, that's not right. I'll look one more time just to make sure.
Many are under contract.
Yeah, they're under contract on it. So what I do is I pull the active. There's no contract on any of these. Half my page is blue, which I highlighted because those are new construction. And the reason I did this, what I wanted to show was that if you look at an existing home today, and I'm basing this on the cost per square footage, that, for $217, that's the average cost per square foot of an existing home. $250 for a new construction.
Yep.
So, okay, remember that $217 for a second. But if I can find a home like on Rosenberg Lane,
Yep.
that's brand new, that's $217 a square foot, that's a pretty good deal.
That's a really good deal. That's a phenomenal deal.
So what I'm saying is there are some buys in new construction where you need to jump on them. Or better yet, use the new construction square footage numbers when you're comparing the house that you're about to buy. Because what's happening is that new construction price is pulling up the existing price. And sometimes, just sometimes, you'll have an existing price of, like this, Hillcrest Circle, $302 a square foot. But I can buy almost every new home that's on here for less than $300 a square foot. There are a few in there.
Yeah, you're over, but yeah, that's like you hit on the head. I've spoken to a few builders here in the last few weeks, and that range is about $250 or $260 even.
Right.
Which it is actually a little lower than it was. That's come down. So this is a phenomenal market, right?
It is.
Yeah, it's really good.
It is. But here's the thing you need to know. If you're in the market to buy a house, you need a realtor that's not afraid to look at new construction. And they're out there. And it kills me because they won't send you somewhere. They won't take you somewhere. Now, what happens in new construction is this. So let's just say it's Viridian.
Yep.
What I do is I take you there, I introduce you to them, I stay in the process, but I can sign you over to them, and they will walk you through that process. Now, why would I do that? Well, because they are knowledgeable about the products they have and what they offer. And what I do is confirm it all. And I give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. But we're so close in the analysis to where it's better to buy a new home than it is.
That's amazing. It's been a long time since we've seen something like that.
Oh, I know.
Very long time.
Well, I mean, you're going to go to Hillcrest and pay. It's $310,000. It's $302 a square foot. Please.
For a home that's what, 73 years old?
Yeah, it's 1,000 square feet.
Yeah, small.
Yeah, it's priced wrong.
Right.
It's priced wrong. And so you run into these. I'm looking for another one. I think that's the highest one we had.
Well, TT, but that's
TT's
yeah, that's an anomaly there, but yeah.
Right, but even if you get to the new I love the new construction in the $1 million class area, price area. There, that's $300 a square foot for $1.1 million. What if you want to buy the other $1 million one? That's $244 a square foot.
Yeah, and that's definitely slowed. It's the larger dollars have slowed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's there for you. You talk about new construction. You asked that question earlier, and I know we're running short on time here, but
we're good.
One thing with Bank of Sun Prairie is we can have as little as 10% down in new construction. 10% down to buy a home, which is awesome. We have a great introductory rate. So at the time, if you have discussion, we'll chat on that. And it's good for 9 months. And most construction, talking to the builders now, is running only about 6 months. It was 9 plus, now it's down to 6. So it goes a lot quicker now. But you can get in as little as 10% down for new construction. A lot of people don't think, most places are 20. So that's something again to, if you have some questions, talk to your experts, talk to the people that can help you with that. But yeah, that's something it's a fun to help with. The turnkey that Bill talked about, that's where lenders can get you ready and make sure you qualify. And you can move pretty quickly with those. When you talk about waivers, depending on how much you put down, waiver means a waiver of appraisal. So if you give 20% or more down, there is a possibility of that. There's never a guarantee, but there's a possibility. So there's different things that, again, experienced lenders can assist you with.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we need to do a show on new construction.
Sure.
And what you guys do with that. Because there's 2 types of new construction. First, buying the land or without the land, right?
Correct.
I can't remember if they call that.
Well, without the land, basically the developer owns it.
Right.
The builder owns it. So it's called turnkey.
There you go.
So turnkey is basically like buying a house, but you're part of it from the day it kind of starts.
Yeah.
So they own the land, and it could be started fresh, or it could be almost spec quality, but you do all the inside. So those type of instances. So,
yeah. So it's
great song.
Oh, thanks, man. Home Sweet Home.
Home Sweet Home, Motley Crue.
I love it. Well, I love when people say, "Well, I don't like heavy rock." Well, okay. Well, let me show you.
This is a ballad.
Yeah.
Not
This
heavy
one
rock.
and Beth by Kiss.
Sure. There you go.
Great songs.
Love it.
But, hey, folks, thanks for listening today, and really appreciate it. And Don, thanks for coming in, buddy.
Anytime.
Appreciate it.
Thank you again.
And you knocked it out of the park.
It's fun.
It's hard to beat Laura, and
she's phenomenal.
She's awesome.
She's a great person. Known her for a very long time.
I love her to death, man.
Good heart.
She's one of my besties,
Yep.
and so I'm glad you got to take a day off. But today you heard a lot about the key word I want you to take away from the show is communications. Actually pick up the phone and talk to somebody live.
Huge.
Have that interaction, whether it's your city alders, with the mayor, your realtor, your banker, your lender. Have a conversation. It's okay to disagree as long as you do it respectfully. And to Don Griffin, thanks for coming
Appreciate
in.
it. Thanks, everybody.
You're awesome.
I love it.
Will you come back?
I definitely come back. Well, on a nice day like this, it was tough to get in, I'll tell you.
Oh, you're killing me. I know. I tell you. Hey, thanks again, Sun Prairie, and we will see you back on the radio Monday at 7 o'clock for Good Morning Sun Prairie. Thanks, everybody.
Cheers.
We're still live on Facebook. Just letting you know.
Nope, I remember that from.
Have you been on before?
No, from listening.
Oh.
I see it on there. We never talked about George O'Keefe.
Oh, that's right.
First, jeez,
You did really well.
That's fun.
Good stuff. Bye, Facebook.